Hello, YouTube, and welcome to this edition of Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. I'm Ronnie Humphrey, and as always, I greatly appreciate you guys joining us today. Well, here it is. You've seen a couple of little glimpses of it, but it's the 1975 Bob Trossel / Doug Wolfgang Super Modified that we purchased from Mr. Bob McCall in Salina, Kansas. And today we're going to take a close look at it. It's our new project car here on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. Stay tuned. Okay, we got the Super Modified unloaded. And as I was saying earlier, it's got a 388 cubic inch small block built in 1975. I think it's chassis 175 or 176. But we got several things we got to do. Main item of business, as you saw in our last video, while out to Pate swap meet, I was able to get this battery located in here, but this is the cover that goes on it. We got to make some adjustments to cover the battery up down here, and I've just got it temporarily held in there with a tie strap right now, or with a motorcycle strap, so we could come home from Dallas. But when you get that done, I need to build roll around stands for it. I had some chassis stands I thought would work. They will not work. So we're going to build something else, and that's really probably going to be the first item of business. Let's get the chassis rollers built. But basically, it's just like it was. It hasn't been raced in several years. Learned a little bit of information on the car and some of the former drivers. But we have, in addition to the battery, we got some oil coming out of the transmission. I got to figure out where that's coming out of. It's pretty interesting. It's got a 3-speed transmission, and they machined the back of the transmission off and put this basically enclosed drive shaft housing on, and a torque ball is what we call them in sprint cars. But the car has a clutch, and there's a hand clutch over there. You can see master cylinder's back up under the seat there, where you can see it down there. So it has a hydraulic clutch, hydraulic throwout bearing, and you've got all 3 gears plus reverse. You got first, second, third, and fourth. Car runs off a magneto, so the battery is just used to crank it up, and then this is your main kill switch here for the magneto. So if you want to cut it off, just cut mag off, ground it out, and it stops. But like I say, the first thing I'm going to do, I need to try to get some stands built. I don't know if I have enough steel. I'll go over and see what I've got, and we will get going on that. And like I say, hopefully Ryan's going to get his modified off of the rack so I can get this up and start trying to fool that battery. I'm not going to do it unless I can get it in the air. So anyway, that's where we're at, and we'll show you a little more details here shortly. All right, wait, well, one thing before we go, I want to show you. It's really cool how they used to put wedge in the car. Yes, that is a 3/8 Craftsman wrench, no expense spared. But this way you can dial wedge into the right front. So, isn't that cool? Just take wedge in, or put wedge in, or take wedge out off a stop block by simply ratcheting while you're driving. Pretty cool. That's it for now. So we'll get further into it here a little bit later on. Well, I got to looking over here in my scrap metal pile, and I've got enough tubing, thankfully, to build some real nice chassis rollers for the Super. So we're going to swap gears 100% and see if we can get these welded together and cut. So we're going to change gears and see if we can build the chassis rollers to begin with, so we can move the car around. So let's see if we can get started on this, see if we can knock some out. Okay, we have enough scrap here. We can make this work. This kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like. There'll be a wheel on each corner, and then an upright, and we'll put a crossbar across here for the car to sit on. That's probably going to be round tubing. Hopefully I have enough of that. But anyway, I'm just taking every bit of scrap I've got. That's why you hang on some of this stuff. Right now we're trying to find some sleeves to be able to put our casters on. So we'll keep on cutting what we need here. We ran up to Harbor Freight and picked up a couple of these cheap casters. I think they'd be strong enough. They're good enough for 350 pounds each. So the car's like 1,750 pounds, so divided by 8, that'll give us like 250 pounds per wheel, so that should be fine. This kind of what's gonna look like. We're gonna kind of stab one together and just mock it up and probably put it under the car and make sure it's gonna work. And we'll try to see if we can get this thing tacked together here. Okay, we got this first one built, and pretty simple, looks good. Get up under the car and see if it'll work. Okay, we've got the rollers made and got those under the car. We're going to try to do a couple other things while they've got the lift tied up still. We're going to make a heel riser for the brake pedal side of the car. Also, I'm trying to decide whether this is the regular knockoffs, but I think I'm going to convert the car back to the nuts and do that. So I'm trying to find out, but we got to make a heel riser for behind that cross support down there so we can get a better angle for my foot on the brake pedal. Buddy's working on it now. Okay, Buddy has made a sexy looking little piece down there. And I think that we'll get in there and see. We may have to raise up a little bit higher, but we got to push the seat out because I'm not as little. The guys used to run these things had little bitty bodies. So we're gonna roll this seat out on that side a little bit on this side with a porter power. Then I'll get in there and see the height of that. Okay, we're gonna try to bow the seat in here a little bit. Pump that, John, if you can there. Try to roll this out. Yeah, there you go. Come on.
It's gonna
all right. Okay, here is the piece that Buddy has fabricated for a heel riser to go behind the brake pedal down here on the floorboard. So all we're going to do, we're just going to simply pop rivet it to the floor, and we checked the height of it, and that's going to be just about right. We had to make 2 different ones before we got it right, but this should work pretty good. So we'll get this pop rivet in there and let you see it. Okay, we got the heel riser in down there. Now the next problem is we want to try to get this steering wheel up just a little bit. We're going to try to come up with an idea. Plus, we're going to push the seat over just a little bit more, and then I think that'll be comfortable enough to at least try to drive it for the first time anyway. Okay, looks like that'll work now. But our next item of business is, now we've got the steering wheel done, we've got the heel riser done for the brake pedal. Pull the battery out. This is the battery case that Mr. Bob had made. I had to lengthen it. You see where it was bent. I'm putting a brake, and Buddy just notched this out on the back side for each side. So we're trying to figure out how we can utilize his existing mounting holes, but the problem is this battery's a little bit taller, so we're going to try to relocate. We're probably going to weld a washer, but first thing, get the battery back in there and see if we can locate the new holes. Okay, our next step since this battery is just a hair taller, we notched it here on the bottom, and these are the original holes. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to mark with a marker where this washer goes. So now the washer will be welded to the original battery cover, and then but we'll be able to gain this extra length here. So I'm gonna mark that now and weld it, and then that'll have this side done, and I'm still trying to decide what we're gonna do on the back. Okay, we have our washers marked. We're gonna notch this out just a little bit more of a 45-degree angle to make sure we have plenty of room for the bolt just in case something moves. But weld these washers on there and then put it back, and that'll have this side done. Well, my gray didn't match exactly, but bottom line is we got these welded in. So now we'll put it on there and bolt it, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do on this side here. All right, we got this side bolted in. It worked like our plan went. I'm just not sure on this back side. I got to figure out how I'm gonna get this side. I think we're going to put a rod from the front or from the top to the bottom. I'm not sure on that, so I've got to do some thinking, but we'll come up with something here and get back with you. Well, that wraps up another very busy day here in the shop, and got a lot done on the car. Got the seat modified, got the heel riser done, got the steering wheel where I think it'll work. Got half of the battery box done, so we're making progress. We've actually got to get it on the lift. If you look down there, you see a little bit of oil. We got some oil coming out of the transmission. This car is set up for a long time, but got a little bit of oil coming out of the seal. In one of the seals, we got to get up there and pull the belly pan off and see if we can figure out what seal's leaking, where the oil's coming from, because I'm afraid under power it's liable to leak worse. So we got to get that fixed. But anyway, it's been a productive day. Ryan is so close on this modified. He was actually trying to race tonight. If you remember one of our previous videos, he was trying to make it tonight, but as you can see, we're not. Trent and my nephew Trent, and then Heath, my son-in-law, is racing. We're in the oil and gas business, and he's just got a lot on him and wasn't able to work this week. But it's got the spoiler built, the body is done all the way around, wheelbase is set, everything's done. Basically got just decal it, and hood's already made. He's very, very close. Got to mount the seat, but it's just running out of time. You know, sometimes life don't go as you plan. But anyway, it looks good, and he's really close to having it on the track here finally. We keep saying that, but hopefully one day we'll get on the track. Well, I appreciate you guys joining. As always, we got a lot done on this new Super Modified. The old Buick here, I think, is mad at me because it didn't get even looked at today, but that's okay. We're trying to get this thing ready so we could go to the track and try to just do a little practice with it and see how it runs and try to learn more about it. But as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. I would greatly appreciate it. But hey, hang in there. We'll see you next time on Race Car Fabrication and Restoration. God bless you. You take care.